Okay, so we are kind of doing a little bit of the after talk of what happens at an actual event. We were blessed enough to be able to speak at an organization called PEP. You're doing their annual PEP rally, which I love the tie-in on it. And with this event, what ended up happening is they had a little over between 200 and 250 people that showed up here today. My job was to be the opening keynote kickoff. And so my suggestion with the event planners, because we talked several times leading up to this event, was they want something high energy, high impact to get everything jumping off the right way, to set the stage for everything else. They'll be here up until about 6 o'clock. And so what I've got is I've got 2 GPS students here with me today that have, decided to come out because they want to see what's going on behind the scenes. And I strongly say that if you have a mentor and a mentor speaking someplace, you do want to be present, because part of the learning experience is being able to see it. And that's what happens with a lot of speakers. A lot of speakers don't get a chance to see all the wheels in motion, and so it makes it harder for them to grasp what they need to do to go out there and crush it. So I'll ask Noelle here, what was one of the things that stood out that you noticed about me being out there?
So one of the things that I noticed one of the things that I noticed that really stood out to me about you being on stage was the way that you were able to command the room.
And once I point at you, just give me the number that you came up with. All right, let's start off right here. What you got?
19.
19 is the number to beat. What you got?
21.
21 is the new number to beat. What you got?
21.
21, two-way tie. What you got?
23.
23 comes out of nowhere. What you got? 23 doubles. What we got over here? 20. 27 out of, that's my favorite number. I was born on 27. What you got? 21. 21. 23. Is anybody going to beat 27? 20. What we got? 20. What we got? 26. What we got? 19. How about you? Already got you. What you got? 29 out of nowhere. What we got? What? 29, two-way tie. What we got? 31 out of nowhere. What we got? 23, 17, 23. Did I miss anybody? So right now, 31.
See anybody on their cell phones. I saw people taking notes. I saw people like nudging each other and agreeing. So I thought that was really neat how he was able to just get everybody just focused. Like I rarely saw people getting up to go anywhere. Just everybody was just completely just tunnel vision on him speaking, and that to me that was just incredible. That's something I want in the future.
And the reason again why it's so important to be able to see that, because what you see helps formulate your belief. Like one of the biggest problems I had when I started this out 2 decades ago was I didn't have anybody that I could actually study and watch. Everything was just trial and error. So I had no way to know what would make the presentation engaging, what was going to get rave reviews, what was going to get the standing ovation, what was going to get me continuous business, what was going to get me booked and busy and brought back. And so a lot of what I did was trial and error. Even in the creation of this keynote, man, it was years of just trying to put it together and formulate it to give it the right ebb and flow. So this is kind of like a behind the scenes, all access. We're just kind of going over what happens at the actual event. I've got some footage, obviously, you guys will see, that shows the event in process, and they got a perfect place for it. All the tables are circular style, which I love, because if I'm going to add group activities, it makes it a whole lot easier because they're already formulated there. The one thing you always want to do is get here early enough to check the layout of the room. You want to get here early enough to talk to the AV team, because that will be your best person on the ground. They're going to make sure you got you mic'd up. A couple of things you want to do is you want to check out the video team. Like they're having this whole event recorded. They got great photographers here. So I want to make sure I get their business cards before I leave, so that way if something happens and I don't get access to the stuff, I can go directly to the source. I'm sure they got some really, really good video. And then last but not least, that's gonna come over here, is I tell people about the power of testimonials. As good as I am at my art form, I always want to make sure I get testimonials from folks that saw the event themselves, because it's easier for someone else to toot your horn and blow up your spot versus you doing it yourself. And so with the banner, unlike a lot of speakers, I don't put the banner on stage 9 times out of 10. I have the banner out in the hallway. And so as people come out, I'll snag them, I'll put them next to the banner, which is marketing for me, and I'll ask them to give me a quick 2-3 minute testimony video on the name of the event, what they, the name of the event, who they are, their title's important, and what value they got out of it, and if they would recommend me to other people. And so that way, I don't have to work as hard to promote myself. I got folks from all walks of life, all different organizations saying, hey, this guy's bomb.com, he crushed it on stage, highly recommend him. So this is just some of the tools of the trade. The only other thing that I did not show you guys, sorry, packed up, is I have something called a swivel. And the swivel's technology that allows me to record myself from a distance. So I know a lot of people use cell phone technology. When I'm in a rush, I can use my swivel. They sell for like $1,000 or less. And I'll show you guys once this video is over. But the swivel goes on a tripod, and I have a microphone that goes around my neck with a microchip, and the swivel will follow me everywhere I go. So if I want to walk through the crowd, I don't have to worry about someone physically holding the camera and following me. The swivel will follow me everywhere I go, and it has a microphone on it. And that microphone picks up everything clear. So I'm not having to shout for the microphone to hear me in the back of the room. But other than that, that's it. So what I normally recommend is if you do these events, don't leave immediately after you get off stage. I know a lot of speakers, well, I did it, I got paid and I run. I encourage people to hang out. Why? Because there's networking afterwards, there's connection you build afterwards. You don't know who's in the room, the value that could actually prepare you for a different assignment. And then again, you get the chance to get testimonials and connect with people and stuff like that. So just through the connections and maybe additional book sales, merchandising, and things like that. But this is it in a nutshell. On this end, I'm going to grab Precious. I'm going to ask her a few questions as well, as far as what did you think about the event, and then what value did you get out of being able to be here today?
I think the best thing for me was seeing both perspectives of watching you as a speaker and then watching you as my mentor. I took notes. I watched you come in with your vision. I watched you look at the room. I watched you talk to the AV guy. I watched you set everything up. I heard you talk about how you had to kind of redesign what you were going to do based on the table space. So all of that was just really meaningful to me as a student. And then as a person who got to actually engage, I was like totally engaged at some points that I had to remember, like, you're here to learn. So it was just really dope. It was dynamic to just watch you.
Gotcha. And this is something I had to learn from my own mentor, that if you're with the mentor, make sure you're present. And what that means is, I tell people all the time, some things are taught, some things are caught, meaning that it's easy to get in fan mode with the presentation. Not a fan of me, but I mean in fan mode, because the presentation is designed to be engaging. It's almost designed to be kind of hypnotizing a little bit, to keep folks present, right? I don't want folks on their cell phones. I don't want folks in the back of the room gathering and talking and running their mouth. I want folks there. I don't believe anyone got out their chair to walk away. Like, I didn't see anybody getting up and walking out the room or on cell phones, stuff like that. They were all present. But if you're there with somebody, make sure that you don't fall into line with the folks in the room, because you're there to watch the nuances, the ups and downs of certain things I'm doing. There are certain things I did on that stage intentionally to create more impact. And so that's where the phrase comes from. Some things are taught, some things are caught. There's some things you're only going to be able to pick up if you're present in the room, but watching differently than the rest of the guys in the room. So this was a kick-ass event. We knocked it out. Ironically, this is one that came through a speakers bureau. And I wasn't even part of the Speakers Bureau. The Speakers Bureau reached out, saw my content online, and they reached out to me and said if I want to partner with them. They had a client, and that's how I got put together, which is another reason why you want to build your brand and have your brand on display, because you don't know who's watching you, what opportunities are going to come from, and what the opportunities will turn into. So chances are I'll probably be back here again, because they really liked what I did for them. Of course, I got more than one presentation to give, but this is kind of behind the scenes, all access. You guys get an understanding of what happens at these events, at the beginning of it all, and most importantly, at the end of it all. So, all right.